Drum roll. Welcome to today's news coverage with Brett. I've just been to the gym and I've just seen all the TVs in there blazoned in orange yet again, giving us our daily fix of programming the masses to tell them what to think and what's going on in society, going on in the country, as opposed to reality. Both channels, Channel 7 and Channel 9, emblazoned. I don't know what Channel 10 does. I can't do that. I'm trying to watch more TV again so I can see what's going on in the world. I think that what I'm seeing at the gym's about enough. But anyway, I'm not sure what Channel 10 does. But Channel 7 and Channel 9, absolutely emblazoned with orange. Orange everywhere, just wall-to-wall orange. Their logos are orange, and I'm sure it's just because it's sunrise. There was a weatherman there today. He's at the fish markets, and I'm sure it's just coincidental. He held up a lobster this big, and it's bright orange, and, you know, under the screen here, it's all orange. All this was just orange, you know. Sure, it's just a coincidence. So they're giving us our news fix for the day, and the big news here from Australia today is it's not a big story, but it's one that I have noticed. Now see, here in Australia, the social change, and remember from my previous videos, social progression is it's occultic. It's of the New World Order. It's about it's about controlling the masses. It's about controlling what they do, say, and think. Social progression is bad news, and you want to avoid it like the plague. Get with the times? No, don't get with the times. Stay right where you are. People will tell you get out of the 1950s. I'm not in the 1950s. I'm in 2018, but I don't agree with social progression. But I don't think the minority should rule over the majority. That whole notion is ridiculous. It's the same as abortion. They say abortion is because it's a women's right to choose. And what about if they're raped? You know, it's a very, very small percentage of people are raped, have abortions due to rape, and that doesn't make the whole thing okay. It doesn't even make it okay in my view if you are raped. But anyway, that's a different video, and this isn't about abortion. I've been mentioning abortion a little bit, so I probably should do a video on it. But anyway. So social progression in Australia generally comes from Tasmania. I remember about 20 years ago, there's an argument here. I suppose it's the same in other countries, the slippery slope. The social progression people, the Marxists, the lefties, they just say it's ridiculous and they just exaggerate it. You know, like if gay marriage goes through today, people are going to be, they say the next day, well, nobody's married a horse yet, so obviously you were wrong. It's just, and you know how the social progression works and how the lefties work. They seek to destroy one fabric of society, and they succeed in that every time, and then they just move along to the next adventure, and all the destruction they leave in their wake, they just don't give a shit. It's done. They've moved on to the next agenda. So all the social agendas here seem to come out of Tasmania. I remember about 20 years ago, the gay agenda started in Tasmania, and I remember back before I was awake, I was like, terrific, like Tasmania's fantastic, you know, they're being fair to all, and I just fell for it, hook, line and sinker. But now, like back then 20 years ago, the thought of gay marriage, everybody was against it. Society in general were against it. You talk to people on the street, and if I now say I'm against gay marriage, I remember I did this Instagram post. It's still on my Instagram. My Instagram's completely public. It's the same knickers here. You go back. I posted this thing. It was just my ballot paper, and the abuse I copped was astronomical. Go and check that out. And 20 years ago, that was the norm. So the news coming out of, so that starts from Tasmania. And what they do is the politicians will say there'll be a select little crazy group of lefties, generally Greens, that will start to push it. All the other politicians from the other parties and all the other states will say, no, this is ridiculous. It's a bridge too far, because that's what people think at the time. And gradually through the TV, through the media, through the bagels, they will just gradually start to say that this social change is okay. You get my drift? It starts with a group of crazy people, and then the TV, they start feeding you, and they go, oh no, this is actually a good idea. So the news coming out of Tasmania now is that they're going to have genderless, I'll use that word in inverted commas, genderless birth certificates. So the word gender, again, it's another psyop. There's no such thing as gender. There's two sexes. That's it. But they're pushing to have these birth certificates will be genderless from now on. That's what they're seeking to do. So because it's coming from Tasmania and it's social change, you can bet your bottom dollar in 20 years' time this will be normal. Probably given the times we're in now and the speed of social progression, I would think that it would be a lot sooner than 20 years that this will be normal. And people like me who are completely normal today, in my view, saying it's wrong, you should be, there's no need to change it. I was born a bloke, that person over there is a woman, and there's no third sex. So everybody sort of thinks, well, I don't know about everybody, because of social progression, I think they're all pretty programmed, and I think that's why they might be able to put it through fairly quick. But I'm not a moron. I'm not isolated. I'm not a crazy person for thinking that for thinking that this is wrong. But by the time they're done with it, by the time they're done with society, I will be again isolated, like I am with my views in gay marriage. I think it's wrong. I think marriage is between a man and a woman, and I'm somehow made out to be some sort of pariah for it. So coming out of Tasmania, this is starting to happen, and this will happen, and it's all occultic. It's all in the name of Satan. It's all Baphomet worship, and people just don't realise it. I'm going to do a video the next couple of days about the powers of good and evil. I fail to comprehend how people can say everyone says we're in an evil world, but yet they deny the existence of God. I don't know how evil can exist without good, but that's another video. In further news, I saw a guy pushing our brand new space agency. It's been a very, very exciting few weeks here in Australia. We've had the announcement that we're going to get $41 million a year going towards a space agency. Our Prime Minister, who professes to be a born-again Christian who goes to Hillsong Church, is moving our Australian embassy to Jerusalem. So take from that what you will. We've got this news coming out now that we're going to have genderless birth certificates. You can bet your bottom dollar it's going to happen. But there this guy was, and people don't see it. I'm watching the people at the gym watch it again, and there it was, and it's just all cartoons. And they actually had a photo there of Darth Vader, and they're just laughing at you, people. They're laughing at you. And where does this $41 million go? That's right, straight to bloody Israel. It's just, and people don't see this shit. Anyway, there was two other TVs in there this morning. Donald Trump's done something. I don't know what he's done. He looked very serious this morning. He signed some very important piece of paper, and he was surrounded by bagels, and as though he had some sort of say in what he was signing, but there he was in his bright orange tie. And then there's some other guy, this Schumer guy. What a creature. He's there in this cardigan, this orange cardigan. It's a vestless thing. It's got buttons on it. It just looked ridiculous. But there it was, bright orange, and people just, bright orange again. Why are they wearing bright orange? I would never wear orange. It's a horrific colour to wear, but there they all are. And the other piece of news I saw, there's another TV sort of out of the way. It's a strange channel. I don't know where it comes from, whether it's some sort of pay TV that I've never seen before, but shows on it are really weird. But being Sunday morning, they have all these crazy religious shows, and this guy was obviously not a Christian, but he's up there what's it called, he's up there preaching. And one of the ads, and you could see what he was preaching was just doctrine. It was just ridiculous, because you could just tell. You just see it. You don't even have to hear it. You can just see what these people are. During the ads on this thing, they had one ad where it said that what Jesus do you worship? I mean, seriously, there's one Jesus, and it's the Bible. There's no question. There's no second Jesus. There's only one, and that was the Jesus in the New Testament, in the four Gospels, and the one that Paul talked about, and the one that returned in Revelation. There's only one Jesus. And there was another ad where I think it was the same ad where it was saying, which Jesus, and in the background it had all these fake cartoon pics of space, and it was just new agey, just bullshit. So I remember a call for an uprising about a year ago. He said that somebody asked him one day, how do you manage to do a video every day? And he just said, well, he said, you just see it. You just see the world and you see what's going on in the world. And I'm finding the same thing. I've just got ideas for videos coming out of my you know where. I've just got them coming left, right, and centre at the moment. I'm going to do another one later today about sport, about how I think sport now is rigged. It just never ever stops. And when you're awake, I was saying to someone yesterday, when you're awake, it's like you're 10 foot off the ground and you're just looking down and you just got these eyes to see and ears to hear. You just see everything for what it is. I'm about to go in there for my cuppa. What day is it? Sunday. Christmas is Tuesday. I'll go into the little thing there they got set up where it's Santa. Santa's there and not Jesus. Santa. S-A-N-T-A. S-A-T-A-N. I'm sure it's a coincidence. Just like all the orange. I'm sure it's just a coincidence that S-A-N-T-A is there in place of Jesus in these Christmas settings. I'm sure it's just a coincidence. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed today's news stories from Brett. See ya.